Spirit is love and joy, peace and patience, kindness and goodness, faithfulness and gentleness and self-control.
So this is session 1 of Holy Spirit Part 2. Last week we were looking at Holy Spirit, who he is and what he does. This week I want to look more at Holy Spirit living in our lives. We're given, when we give our lives to Jesus, the Holy Spirit comes and he joins with our spirit and gives his life to our spirit. Galatians 5:16, we're told we are to walk by the Spirit. In other words, we're to let the Spirit take control. Now this isn't always that easy, because although we have been given, we are a new creation, been given a new nature, we live within the old human nature, and so there is conflict. In verse 17 it says, the Spirit is opposed to the flesh, the two natures are in conflict, so we're not to do whatever we want. We need to let the Spirit be the one who controls what we do. Paul then contrasts the outcome of being led by the flesh, and he lists this. This is a natural human nature. If we works of the flesh are sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, factions and envy, drunkenness and orgies. It's not a very attractive list. He then contrasts this with what he calls the fruit of the Spirit. Now fruit is what naturally grows from what's inside. An apple tree bears apples and a fig tree bears figs. Holy Spirit controlling our lives bears the fruit of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. That's in Galatians 5:22 and 3. These contrast greatly by what the human nature produces. The list of things brought about by human nature are a list, and not everybody will do all of those. But the fruit of the Spirit is a package. A life led by the Spirit will show all of those attributes, because they are the character or attributes of God. They do not show up all at once like fruit, it grows slowly. And so as we live in obedience to God, the attributes will become more and more obvious in our lives. So what are they? Well, the first one is love. Love is the most basic. He's talking about the attribute of love that will lead to actions of love. Because actions that come without any attribute or without any inner attribute are worthless. The love he talks about is the highest form of love. 1 Corinthians 13, Paul's saying, look, we might have all sorts of gifts. We may have great gifts of prophecy, be very knowledgeable, but if there's no love, we're nothing. We might sacrifice ourselves to hardship, but if there's no love, we're nothing. In fact, he says we're just like a clanging gong or cymbal. In other words, just an irritating sound to everybody else. All the gifts we demonstrate are the things, whatever we do, they'll be worthless without love. He then goes on to describe the type of love that we're talking about as an attribute of God. This is in chapter 4, verses 4 to 7. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonour others, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Now, human love can never achieve all of this, even though we love to read this at weddings, because this is the perfect love of God. And this is the love that the Holy Spirit will empower us if we walk in his way. We're commanded to walk in the way of love. Ephesians 5:1 says, follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God.
Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love. love and